Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Brie, and today we're gonna dive in deep with the cream contour and highlighting and how to give yourself a facelift without actually getting a facelift type of video today. If you're new here, check out my channel. I do beauty, lifestyle, and fashion. Obsessed with that. That is my life. And yeah, if you like what you see, subscribe down below, give this video a thumbs up, and I hope you guys learn a lot from this video. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so I quickly wanted to jump on here before I put any makeup on my face to tell you guys how I follow my facial structure when I contour. This is how I first became aware of it. I first saw how high my cheekbones were right here, and then if you look, I don't know if you guys will be able to pick this up on camera or not, but it goes from here and then it doesn't just stop here. That's not natural. It goes here and then slightly downward, and I personally like that on my own face. Everyone's preference is different, but I like to keep that accentuated when I'm applying my makeup. I don't like those shadows to just hide. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there before you guys see me contour in places that you've never or rarely seen before. But now I'm gonna just put on my foundation off camera because this isn't a full makeup routine. I'm just showing you how to contour and highlight like a pro. Okay guys, so my foundation is all laid down. You can take a guess on the cream contour I'm gonna be using. My favorite, L'Oreal Infallible. And the best thing about this is it's so inexpensive. Go pick it up at your CVS. All I have to say. And then I'm going to be taking my Tarte Shape Tape in the lighter shade. I've been really feeling the lighter highlight blending into my deeper, darker contour. Okay, so first I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape. And you guys have seen this plenty of times, but I'm just going to thoroughly explain. So first, if you're going for a full face of highlight and contour, I always bring it down and up, especially if you're planning to contour your nose, because this really helps make your nose look smaller and more slim. Gives you that nose job effect without actually getting a nose job. And then as you can see, there are two triangles. The reason why I do that is so that as I'm blending it, I don't have a big white line. No one likes the white line that's just under your eyes with the flashback. It's no one likes that. Then I personally like a bit of highlight on my forehead just because that's a natural highlight. And on my chin, again, natural highlight. I'm just gonna put it on my eyelids for now because that's how I prime my eyelids for any eye look. So I'm just gonna let that sit on my face, and while I let it sit on my face, I'm gonna take my cream contour stick. So there's two ways you can apply it. You can apply it straight from the tube, or you can use a brush. So I just use it straight from the little applicator packaging thing, and I go around my just like that. And oh my god. And the reason why I do two lines under is to make your forehead look not just circular, but to make the sides look a bit smaller and tucked in. It gives the illusion of a smaller forehead. Okay, before I even put anything on, you can still see where my cheekbones are. You want to put it a little bit above your cheekbone. You never want to put it right on your cheekbone or under your cheekbone, because if you do and you blend it out, that contour is going to blend further down onto your cheek instead of where it should be. So I'm going to take this and put it right there. And then I always just tuck a little up here because like I said, I want these two to blend together seamlessly on this side. And then for my jaw, I kind of like to reconstruct my jaw. So even there, I'll put it a little bit above my jawline to blend from there and under. I like the very chiseled look, and my jaw's quite round. So I just draw straight lines, not following and scooping under my jawline, going above it. So like that, and diagonal down so that it meets right here. And once I blend it, it gives me more of that chiseled out look. And then for my chin, to help that facial structure come together and elongate my chin, I go up like that. And then instead of cutting it off right there, I'll go under and back. When you guys see me do my nose contour on one of my videos and I just put the lines with the stick. That's me quickly doing it. I'm going to show you guys how to like thoroughly do it. So I take this brush. You don't want to go on the sides of your nose. You want to go a little bit on top of your nose, again, so you can blend out to where it should be. So you want to take your brush. I start up here, like right in between, and then I work my way down. So you see how much more of a cleaner line that is than like when I apply it just with the stick on my face. And then what I like to do is cut the bottom of my nose off because I hate that it like droops a little bit. So do not forget to also bring this under your brow bone a bit, because that's going to give the effect from your eye socket going down, connecting to your nose like the natural bone should be. And then I just take a little bit and put it right there. Sometimes I do this, I don't always do that. I don't know, I guess it depends on the day. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my damp beauty blender and start blending it all the way to make it look seamless. And then before I do the under eyes, I'm going to take my brush and go over the contour. Okay, so as you see, where I applied it, it then blended out into the spot that I wanted it to be. So if you look, that's exactly where my cheekbone ends, and that's exactly where the contour lies now. See? Okay, so you see like the big difference right there? So I'm going to take my beauty blender and just go over those harsh edges to blend it all out together as one. See? So when you're blending this out, you want to make sure you drag it down under your jawline and onto your neck. So that's like what it would look like, but then the harsher lines, obviously, take your beauty blender and then go over those and then just blend these lines out. Okay, so now since this area has been sitting on my face for quite a while, I don't want it to pull off any of my foundation because it has dried up quite a bit. So I'm just going to spray myself with some setting spray to like re-dampen it. Spray my sponge a bit. And then I'm just going to go in and blend it. And first I'm going to blend under my eyes and on top of my eyelids. And then I'm going to go onto my nose contour. So the excess I take down, go over where my smile lines are. So I'm not hitting this area right here still. I'm just bringing it downward and around. And then here, I'm not going to take the tip of my beauty blender and blend it outward like I have been with the rest of my concealer on it. I'm going to take the side of it where it's pretty clean and blend over these edges, just so that it doesn't cut off to either one. It, again, blends beautifully. So do you see how bright my face is in the front areas? And then as you get over here, you can see the dimension going on. And look at my jawline. As you can see, it's more chiseled than round. That's the look I go for. I'm just going to take more of my concealer and just put like a little bit over here, just so that it's fresh and I can blend it easily over my nose contour, you know? So I start by dabbing in the center, and then I'm going to go in and smooth out this side of the concealer and start laying it on top. And the reason why I save my nose contour for last is because I like to allow the lines that I drew, like the contour lines that I drew, to dry down a bit so that when I'm going over it with my concealer, it doesn't move. And then you want to go over the bottom also, and then just pat up any of the excess. Okay, so like I was saying before, with this area of my face, I just go in with the brush that I used to blend out the contour and lightly, like on this tapered edge. By the way, this is the Hourglass foundation brush. You can use any dense brush to blend out your cream contour. So I used to use this one from Real Techniques. Again, it's a dome brush that's pretty dense. I alternate between these two. Depends on which one's cleaner at the time, I guess. But I just take this one and lightly drag down. So you see how it just deepens up that shadow a bit more. I don't know if you guys will actually be able to see that, but like I can see that in person. Okay, and then before you set your face, just go over everything with the beauty blender to make sure everything is locked in tight and blend it out beautifully. And then just take your favorite translucent powder and set your face. I set along the sides of my nose first and under my eye, and mainly all the areas that I put concealer on. And as you can see, I'm trying to avoid the areas that I put the cream contour on because, again, I don't want too many products on my face. I'm going to go in with my bronzer, my powdered bronzer, and just put it right on top because, like, again, why do you want to put translucent powder on it to set it and then put more powder that's like a color on top? You're just layering and layering more makeup, and it's gonna wind up looking more cakey than you want it to. Okay, now I'm just gonna take a bronzer and just like a bronzer brush. This one's the Kylie one. I've been loving this one recently, but you guys just take your favorite bronzer. But again, try to keep it upward. So you see how my brush is like angled upward instead of like straight or downward? You want to tuck it right in and buff it out upward. And don't forget to bronze up your neck because these are where your natural shadows are, so that this area should look darker than over here in your face because it's like where a natural shadow is. Your chin is making this area look darker, and if you make it all look one, you will... Okay, almost done. Then I go in with a angled fluffy brush and go over my nose contour. And again, don't forget to tuck it up and under your brow. This bronzer smells really bad. Every time I do this, I like want to throw up. By the way, when you go over your nose contour with a bronzer or like a powder contour color, make sure it's not orange. So like my Hula Caramel is a no-no for this. This is like more like ashy, cooler tone, but still kind of warm. You want like those tones. But yeah, now I'm just gonna bake the sides of my nose to really get that definition. Okay, so while I let that sit there, I'm just going to take like the excess that is on my brush from my bronzer and lightly apply it on this area where I want to continue my contour. And you don't want this area to be as harsh as this area at all. You want it to fade down and into your jaw because that's like how your normal facial structure is. So like think about Halloween when people have like those drawn skulls on their face and they draw like the one bone up here and then the one bone down there, and there's like that gaping hole right there. That's your natural bone. So you want to keep that natural face structure and you want to enhance that because it'll just give you an overall slimmer face. Yeah, that's pretty much what I mean by all of that. I should have said that comparison way earlier in the video, but hey, at least I said it now. All right, so I'm just gonna wipe off the powder. And again, you see how much lighter that is and how it just created like more of a defined nose contour. Okay, so now that that's officially over, I'm going to finish the rest of my face off camera and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm finally done. I should have walked you guys through my like highlighting process, not just like my concealer highlight process, but all I do is take one highlighter and I'll take this like small-ish fluffy brush. It's not a fluffy brush for your eye, it's like meant for highlight, and this one's just like Jaclyn Hill Morphe collab. It's JH09. I'm sure that Morphe has a bunch like this that are like actually just Morphe, like M whatever. I just take this, start here, make it like a C motion, and then from here I lightly take it and wrap it around where my blush is. So again, it all blends and it follows your natural facial structure. And if you guys don't have higher cheekbones like I do, this is a great way to try to create a higher cheekbone and give you more depth to your face. So when you also look, you'll see that majority of the highlights there, but you'll see a little sheen right here where it doesn't create a flat surface on your face. It's like the light is hitting it, and since it's hitting it, that means it's lifted. So then again, I take it and put it here. And this is just like the spot in between your cream contour and your concealer, a little bit above your eyebrow, blended in to, again, make it all seem as one. So as your face moves, you're not flat matte on one area of your face. That's the purpose of cream contour and concealing. You want your face to be lifted. So you want everything to look up and accentuate the anatomy of your face. Then I take like a little dome brush. You guys have seen me use this plenty of times. Again, it's the Morphe Jaclyn Hill. This one's JH39. Again, I'm sure Morphe has a similar one that's just like a Morphe collection. So I use this brush to highlight the inner corners of my eye. That just like brightens it up. It's not lifting or anything. It's just like making you look more awake. And then I take it, and to finish off my nose contour, I put some of that highlight on my nose because again, the natural light, if you look without any makeup on your face, freshly washed, clean, and you look up into the light like that, you'll see a line on your face that's being hit from the light, by the light. So again, you want to bring that back since you've covered that with foundation, concealer, blah, blah, blah. So for me, I'm not accentuating what I already have. I like to fully reconstruct my nose because my nose is crooked from cheer. I was punched in the face by a flyer, like as she came down, and she fully like made my nose shift. Anyway, so I like to reconstruct it, and I'll draw this little dot should be right here. But since I made this cut off, I moved the dot up a bit higher so that it all like is proportionate and makes sense. Then I always make sure, I don't know why, some people, honestly, most people don't highlight in between their eyebrows, but like if you think about it, this is where you have an indent right here. So the light is mainly going to focus right there on that indent and right here. And then lightly, I draw a line down the center of my nose like that. So when I'm looking straight, you can really only see the two highlighted spots. And then if I look down, that's when you'll see the line. Same thing if I look up. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope it was pretty informative. It usually doesn't take me this long to do like a cream contour highlighting effect. Like I can do this very fast. Obviously, I'm talking through each step and trying to actually explain it in a way that you guys will understand rather than like a way a makeup artist or someone that's familiar with makeup and these steps already understands. But I promise you, this is the ultimate facelift without getting a facelift. I will rather use cream products because it looks more natural than a lot of powder on my face. So I usually always drift more towards the cream products. So whether it's like a natural look with a tinted moisturizer, I'll still do some cream contour and just bronze up my face that way and leave out all the powders in general. I'll just like put translucent powder all over my face and call it a day. But as always, if you guys did like the video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!